Hello everyone. In today's video, the topics that we are going to be covering are job analysis, its process, and the techniques used for job analysis. In the last video, we looked at the meaning of HRM, the definitions of HRM, how HRM came into existence, and the characteristics of HRM. To check out that video, click onto the link in the description box below. So let's get to the topic. So, what is job analysis? Job analysis is a detailed study of a job. That is, the detailed study of the responsibilities, the title, the characteristics, the working hours, the working conditions, and everything that is related to a job. So, it is basically a thorough study of the whole job. So, now let's look at the process of job analysis. The first step in job analysis is a selection of jobs for analysis. So you need to select the jobs that you are going to analyze. That's the first step. And then the next step is collection of job and organization data. So after you choose what jobs you're going to analyze, you need to collect every information possible about that job and also about the organization for which you're collecting information. These would include the strategies, the policies, the vision, the mission, etc. of an organization. After you've collected information about the job and about the organization, the next step is job description. Job description is basically a summary of the whole job facts. We'll be looking at this in detail in the later part of this video. The next stage is job specification. Job specification refers to the characteristics that are required to do that particular job, which is expected of the employee who is going to be hired. We'll be looking at this in detail as well. So let's look at what job description and job specification means. Job description is a summary of job facts, and these facts include the job title, the number of hours a person has to work to finish this job, the working conditions in which the person has to work, and the responsibilities of a person who is employed for this job, who he'll be reporting to, etc. While job specification, even though it sounds similar to job description, is very different because it means the employee characteristics that are required to perform this particular job. So job description is a description of the job, while job specification specifies the characteristics that is expected of an employee who will be performing this job. So that's what is the difference. So these characteristics can be of four types: physical, emotional, intellectual, and other characteristics. So physical characteristics can be something like the height of an employee, his vision. For example, if you're going to apply to become a police officer, you'll be expected to be of a certain height, you'll be expected to have a good eyesight, etc. Right? All these are physical characteristics that are required to perform the job. While emotional characteristics can include things like how calm and composed you are, how adaptable you are, and so. The next one is intellectual characteristics, which would include the skills that you have, the knowledge, your technical abilities, and things that are related to the area that you're going to be working in. The next one is other characteristics. This would include things like personality, attitude, etc. So, how do you differentiate? How do you know if it's a job description or job specification? An easy way is to ask the question what and who. If it answers the question what, it is job description, while if it answers the question who, it is job specification. What would include questions like what would the job be called, what would be the responsibilities, what does an employee do in the workplace, etc. Who would be a question of who will be eligible to do this job. The next one is that job description provides you with the major job requirements. So when you finish job description, the result would be that you'll get the major job requirements that are required for anyone to do this job. That is, what does this job demand? When we look at job specification, it would provide you with details of the knowledge, skills, and abilities that will be required to perform this job. Now let's move on to the techniques that are used for job analysis. So the techniques of job analysis. What are the techniques that can be employed by an organization to do a job analysis? That's what we're going to be looking at. So the first one is observation method. So observation method, as the name suggests, is observing people. So when you observe when they're on the job, when they're performing the job, you observe them directly. But the major disadvantage with this method is that it can be suitable only for manual jobs. For example, if it's a job that requires a person to be working on a machine, you can just observe the situation and see what work they're doing, what is the working condition around, etc. But when it comes to a technical or a mentally demanding job, you cannot look at a person and know what job they're doing, how they're performing the job, etc. So this method is only applicable for manual and unskilled jobs. So the second method is interview method. So interview, as you know, is basically just like a job interview. Each employee will be individually interviewed to get information about the job that they are performing, the hindrances that they faced, the difficulties, their thoughts on the job, etc. Even though this process is effective, it's very time consuming because each employee has to be interviewed separately and data has to be collected. The next method is critical incident method. Here, only the past experiences and critical or very important events that happened in their job so far is considered for job analysis. So each person will share their experiences and important events that happened while performing their job, and these data will be collected. The next method is group interview method. So as the name suggests, it is a form of interview in groups. So instead of conducting an interview for one person, interviews will be conducted in groups with 4 to 10 people. So even though this method is very time efficient when compared to interview method, it is less effective because when 10 people are interviewed together, their answers may not be the same that they would have given if it had to be an individual interview. So it is less effective. The next one is structured questionnaire method. This involves providing the employees with a questionnaire with a set of questions which could either be they have to choose between the options that are given in the questionnaire, or they'll be given a certain number of items and they'll be asked to rate each item based on their preferences. The next method is checklist method. This is almost the same as a questionnaire method, but the questions here will all be subjective. The questions will give you the choice of answering yes or no. There will be no space for you to give a descriptive answer or explain the answer that you're giving or rate an answer. You have to answer yes or no. Only those kind of questions are included in checklist method. The next one is videotape method. This is almost similar to observation method. The only difference is that the employees will not be watched live, but instead they'll be videographed and that will be watched later. The benefit with this method is that these videos can be watched over and over, so there's chance for review. The next method is review of record method. This involves the job analyst to look at the records of work or of any complaints or anything that is related to the employees that is maintained by the HR department to collect information. The next method is conference method. In this case, a group of experts will be called upon and they'll be asked to share their expertise in their area to these employees, and then they'll gather information from the employees to be provided to the job analysts. The next one is diary or work log record method. In this case, each employee will be given a diary or a logbook where they'll have to record everything that they've done in the day. For example, the tasks that they've done, the jobs that they've finished, etc. But the problem with this method is that there'll be a lot of irrelevant information when compared to the other methods, because these employees may write a lot of information that is not needed for the analysis. So it will take a lot of time to filter out the needed information and come to the required result. So that's it for today's video. If you have any doubts or need any clarifications, please leave that in the comment box below. And if you liked this video and you want to watch the other videos of mine, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any videos that I upload. Okay, bye.